Welcome back, No Motion Meteors. It's been a while. We fortunately had some technical difficulties, so we missed for the first time in 375 episodes straight. We ended up missing the last 2 weeks, maybe three. I don't remember. First week, unfortunately, Melvin Motion over there, car crash. He crashed our new company car, and we were not able to get to the office anymore because we didn't have a vehicle.
A man
Week
has one
after
drink.
that, I was in Cuba, so we couldn't do anything there. I was in Cuba, and then last week we filmed a 2.5 hour podcast episode, and I glanced at my second monitor and realized someone's mic was muted the whole entire time. I don't want to point any fingers, but I will say Margaret Motion messed up on the setting up the podcast and the all the mic settings and stuff, and
We also got to talk about
yeah,
Marquise Motion, who's on the switches right now live.
yeah,
He dropped the ball.
yeah. So it's
He
been
was
rough.
fired.
It's been rough.
He was fired, and his side piece went crazy on it last night for me. As a result, so
But we're back. We're running.
we moved.
Everything's going. We're gonna be switching up the go of this. We're gonna be doing segments and uploading frequently. So we'll see how this goes. We're gonna start with there's been a lot of NBA drama, trade deadline, all that good stuff. We're gonna compile that, recap that. Team future. We're gonna just kind of recap all the last 2 weeks of really trade talks because we had some really good takes, and
Genius.
unfortunately, my mic was muted. So
It's because of what you had that racist rant.
John Morant. What about John Morant? We had the absolutely asinine Mavs crash out trade. They got rid of Luka for Anthony Davis. It's like we can all agree it's dumb. What did Mark Cuban say? It's like trading Windows 11 for Windows 10. It's like you're just it's the same product, but it's just worse. It's just older. It's really all
To
it is.
me, it's clearly they burned so many bridges. They shit talked him, said he's fat.
Yeah.
I take offense to that as a fat guy. I don't like seeing my people
he's
attacked.
Melvin Motion over there.
Melvin's. They call me Massive Motion sometimes. But it was slander hit piece. The owner hated him. The GM hated him. They were firing his coaches a year ago. It turns out they were friends with him. One of Luka's coaches that liked him left the team a week ago.
And
Team's done. Kyrie's gonna be gone, and PJ Washington's gonna be gone.
They fired all of his physical health coaches that were on the Slovenian. I don't know if that's the correct one. National team, and then
Correct.
they showed pictures, and that it was Luka's best shape was when he was on the national team, and with those health trainers. So it's kind of weird that they fired them. It's clearly inside job. Clearly they were trying to get rid of Luka.
Luka's a chubbed up. He's a chubbed up tubber, but
it's weird when an organization goes and says we wanted a win now piece when they just got out of a finals run.
You did the best thing besides actually winning, and that's being runner up.
And
you're literally win now.
I this is what sucks is because when we were on the other podcast with the Mike problem, I said that I don't think this inherently. I think we both agree. I don't think it inherently made the Mavs worse.
They're still a good team.
They're still a good team, but we both agree that health is going to be a big factor. And now Anthony Davis is out for at least 4 weeks, and they're saying he's out indefinitely. They're saying he's out indefinitely, but they said they put a timetable just so Mavs fans wouldn't blow up the arena. But he's out indefinitely. He has no timetable on when he's returning.
Their ticket sales are looking bad right now. This is going to be. You might not see a team in Dallas in 5 years. That's the level of magnitude this trade might have.
And what's worse is they trade Quentin Grimes and whoever else, and Max Kleber, all these other side pieces, and they're like, we want Caleb Martin. Hasn't played a lick of basketball in 2 months.
Yeah, it stinks.
Now you look at the roster.
Who's a dog?
They did Chris fire, but let's look at their
It's a good
They did
team.
win, but
It's a good team. It's a playoff team. They will fight and they will be competitive in the playoffs as long as they're healthy. But they're not going to win the finals this year. They at best they went sideways this year, going from Luka to AD. I think a little worse, and the future's destroyed. The real problem is the future.
they were out
You're
like 15 players yesterday. Oh my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
not very good.
they're missing PJ for extended period of time. They're missing Lively for extended period of time. Gaffer's now out for like 4 weeks. Obviously, Anthony Davis is out for a while. Hardy was out. Well, Kyrie's out tonight, but it's a back-to-back. Pretty
I still
much
think they'll lip into the playoffs, but
half their roster's gone due to
Yeah.
injury, and their biggest decision was, let's get an injury-prone center, and he gets injured after one game, half a game.
Luka, you can say Luka, man.
He plays through
He
it.
plays. He had his one injury this year. He's fat. He's not a good defender. You'd wish he's more in shape, sure, but he played basketball, and he played heavily ISO ball for 38 minutes a night. So, I don't believe it when they say he is not in basketball shape. His shape is round, but it's a basketball shape.
And again, like a lot of people around the league have been saying, if you're averaging, 30, 10, and 7, or 38 and 8, whatever he's averaging,
Yeah, you're getting triple doubles every other night.
like, you keep that, especially at
That's
20, 20, 26, 25, 26. It's like, there's no excuse. It had to be some sort of inside terrorism job. Like, Nico Harrison was Nico Harrison, that's his name, right?
Nico Harrison, yeah. It's
something was definitely like in there that none of the GMs knew. They didn't offer him in some sort of bid war. The actual GM of the Dallas Mavericks didn't know. Mark Cuban, who's like one of the money men of that place, didn't know. The coaches didn't know. The team didn't know. The Lakers didn't know. Two people knew. That's crazy. Only Rob
Dude, it stems from
Pelinka.
the owner because
and
they
Nico
forced
Harrison.
Cuban out. They forced Cuban out like 2 or 3 years ago. Started there, my opinion. The owner and GM, man, they're up to something. And when the owner's involved, that means they want to move.
Now,
That's my theory.
Cuban owns a big portion of it because he's still a
He's-
shareholder.
He's a minority owner, but yeah,
But
he
he's
gave up
not-
the majority stake.
Yeah, so he doesn't have any like actual power, but he can pull out of funding. Like that is one thing.
Yeah.
Is like they could have threw their bridges and burned their bridges with Mark Cuban. Like this could
If he ever
genuinely
pull-
destroy the Mavs.
If he pulls out, that's because he heard something. The team's moving. I guarantee that 100%. If
I think
Cuban
he should
sells his
just-
share, it's because they're leaving Dallas.
I mean,
So if you hear that happen.
he should just go form a team with LeBron in Vegas. I mean, they're
Yeah,
doing
he'll
an
probably get
extension.
in on that. A lot of people will.
Cuban and LeBron go, go half and
But
half on a team.
They're saying LeBron might put a team in Honolulu.
Well, unfortunately, LeBron cannot be a
Hawaii.
minority or a majority owner until he is retired. But he's only got, hopefully.
Yeah.
He's going to be here for 20 more years. So
I guarantee
a
he has
while.
10% stake in the Lakers
yeah,
under the table.
yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't doubt it. He
Cleveland
probably
probably
has.
still
Yeah, I was doubt he probably has a stake in Cleveland. You see how they treat him, man. Obviously, he's like their all-time great, but like
The guy
man.
just eats steak. Let's talk about it.
But yeah,
I think to wrap it up, I mean the Lakers, whether they win this year or not, they're fine. They got Luka.
they've got the future now.
They got a top 5 player for 10 years straight. Mavericks fucked.
This is
They're gonna rebuild 2 or 3 years from now. They're gonna be a 14th seed rebuilding to the draft.
Well, this is the thing that we did talk about is the Mavs were going all in on a win now scenario. They have a 2 to 3 year window now. AD's not gonna last that long. Kyrie's not gonna last that long. Clay's not gonna last that long. So your big three players probably won't even last that window to even make it.
I think Kyrie's gone. Kyrie's gone this year.
Yeah, he could be going to free agency over the summer.
He's
I
the
don't
last
think he'll
guy
stay.
you want to. He's the most volatile guy anyway, and his best friend on the team left.
I mean,
He knows of that.
they saw what happened in Brooklyn and Celtics and Cavs. He forced his way out of the Cavs. He forced his way out of Boston. Forced his way out of the Nets because KD left. Like he clearly now that he lost Luka, I don't think he wants to be in the Mavs.
Well,
I don't think he
Kyrie,
wants to 40 ball every
Good
night.
luck. We'll see you. I hope Miami treats him well next year. But yeah, he's gone.
Disgusting.
Well, what else happened?
Butler
We can talk
trade.
about
The Butler trade.
Butler trade. Jimmy Butt to the Warriors
Again,
for Andrew Wiggins and some change.
trading Wiggins for Butler is it's almost similar to trading Luka to AD, but on a way worse scale because you're trading the same exact player for just a worse or older version of him. Like, I'm not saying Wiggins is inherently just going to be better than Butler or that Butler is inherently way worse than Wiggins, but what I'm saying is, like, they average the same, they play the same, they're both, higher on defense, sometimes have offensive spurs, but Wiggins is younger. You like they're yes, the Warriors are probably in win now mode. Curry probably only has two years left, maybe. It's Draymond's probably gone after this year. To be honest, I know he wants to. He needs to retire. Kerr needs to go. Butler's just not a win now player, in my opinion. Not for a team that's that inherently bad. Butler's a win now player on a team that's like top 6 seed, not a win now player that's on a fighting for playing team.
I'd agree. I just like that. I like that they did the move. I like they tried something, because we'll see if I'm right, but I think Butler's better than what he's looked like this year, because he has purposely not played hard because he was starting to fit in Miami.
I can agree with that.
If Jimmy Butler's happy, which can be hard to do, when he's happy, I still think he's an all-star level player, and he's markedly better than Andrew Wiggins. I'd say Andrew Wiggins is a better defender than him, but offense there's a big gap.
Well, my thing is at this point in time, I think Wiggins has Spurs a better offensive talent than Butler by a long mile. When he has his Spurs, I don't think Butler is like. I'm not saying Butler at a peak, but I'm saying Butler now. I just don't think can maintain a high volume for 81 games. He's not going to play 81 games.
No,
and let alone
that's what you need Kuminga and Moody for, and all those guys.
I will still stand by my guns and say that I believe Butler is a playoff dropper. Everybody's like, oh, he's a playoff riser. He's a first-round riser, and then slowly declines throughout every series.
Hey, if we get to the second round,
every single time. So,
if we get second round, that's a good year.
I think
I will take that.
His final run, solid. That's kind of started it. And then he had this year after that where he took Boston 7. He did really good in that. But then after that, first round you beat the Bucks, and then you get progressively worse every single series, and you're getting carried by your role players, and then you get swept in the finals. And then the year after that, you beat the Bucks in the first round, slowly get worse, lose to Boston, and then boom. They lost to Boston in the first round, but slowly get worse and worse and worse, and then boom. Like, I think Butler's a little overrated in his playoff runs. He's had 2 inherently good playoff runs, and that was the 2020 playoff run and the 2023 playoff run, if I'm not mistaken. Those were his only 2 playoff runs in my mind that are like, wow, these are really good playoff runs. I think you could throw in 2022 when the Celtics beat him in Game 7 in a 7-game series. So maybe you want to give him 3, but yeah, that's my opinion is that he is very, very, very overrated when it comes to he's a playoff riser.
I have a higher opinion of him. I mean, I always have, kind of. He's taken a step back. I will say I still think he's better than Andrew Wiggins, noticeably on offense. I'd say Andrew's a better defender. That's where more of his value comes from. I think Andrew Wiggins is an elite defender, underrated. But his offense was just okay. I think Jimmy Butler. Hey, he's good, man. One-on-one, Andrew Wiggins is like top 10. Like, he's good. He's underrated. But Jimmy Butler on offense, I still think is very good with flashes of great, and I think Andrew Wiggins was okay with flashes of good. And it was fine, but when that's your second option, that's not good enough. So I like the effort. I like going to get Butler. It works with Curry too, because he's a free throw merchant. He lives in the paint. Immediately playing with Butler, Curry's getting more open looks. He's looking like he can move around more. He's got a little more pep in his step late in the game because he's not getting doubled out through half court all the time. So I like it. The Warriors are not going to win this year. I think this move is for next year. One final shot. You're gonna have Curry next year, Butler next year, Kuminga signed because they want to sign him. Draymond will see, and if they can get a big man, the big man thing, and a shooting guard. If they can find something for those two positions, I think they'd make noise at least.
Here's how this is
I
where
don't
I
think the
disagree.
Warriors.
Is you guys have 7 shooting guards, but you play them at the power forward position. You have Moses Moody, who's a true guard, true two guard, playing at power forward. I think that's the biggest problem with the Warriors. Not that you don't have players; it's that you don't play them in the right spot. You guys are inherently
Well,
playing.
we don't have
badly.
any. We don't have any big men.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
it's
those
just
guards
like
are playing. The issue is, I like Moody. I like Pajemski. I don't like Heald. I like Gary Payton is solid. None of those guys are starter quality. If any of those 4 are starting, yeah, I don't like it. Pajemski's probably the best option.
I
right
would
now.
say.
I think if they could go for I wish they could have got a Levine. I think Levine would have been fantastic. If they can get another guard, because a big man's great, but the Warriors, Steve Kerr is going to play small ball. Fuck it, let him play small ball. Play Draymond at center. At least have elite guard play, because that's what he really wants. He plays to his guards, and if you're going to do that, you need 2 elite guards. They had 2 elite guards from 2014 to 2019. That's why they won 3 rings in that time. So if they can get another elite guard before Curry fully falls off a cliff, I still think he's great. I still think he'll be an all-star next year. That'll probably be the last year. But, yeah, get a guard. If I could choose between great big man, great guard, I would take great guard. Even though the Warriors would then start a 6'6" player at center. They're still like 4th in rebounding. They're like 6th in offensive rebounding. I don't know how they do it. It's actually impressive, but
Now I want to hear your take on this.
I want to see some guard play here.
I want to hear your take on this.
Let me
Would
hear
you
let me-
be opposed to the Warriors making a play for someone like Benedict Mathurin? Or because the Raptors are now kind of screwed with money, they're gonna have to get most likely rid of one of their 4, and it's seeming like RJ could be the option because there's 3 forwards and you keep Scotty, you keep Ingram, you probably get rid of RJ. Would you be opposed to getting RJ and playing with the 2? RJ or Mathurin? RJ from the Raptors, obviously. Mathurin
I would
from the Pacers.
say I wouldn't mind seeing. I would have to see what we would give up. I don't think either one's a big enough jump over what we have to sell, like to break the bank for.
I think
RJ's a good player, but he's not an elite 3-point. I would like someone who's a great 3-point shooter. That's why Levine, I think, would have been a great.
See, my thing is, I
But a
would
great
think
3-point shooter to spread it out. Could give Curry. Curry got attention off him through Butler. They're gonna back up. Now I want them to go to the corners, get shooters over there, so that way Curry goes play 1-on-1 on the top of the key.
now this is gonna be sound like a hater, but I think
hear it.
RJ Barrett is inherently a better piece than Pajemski and Buddy Hield, and I would personally trade
I would agree with that.
them for RJ. I don't think he's an elite 3-point shooter, but I think with the spacing he would get because of Curry and players like Curry and Butler on that team, he might be able to go back to being more efficient.
That's true. I would agree with that as well. He'd be the best shooting guard on the team immediately. I just think I would shoot higher. I would be willing to let go of a Draymond. I would be willing to let go of a Kuminga to get another big guard, because I'm all for trying to win next year.
Well, I guess I see it as like you want to win now, but I feel like you also got to keep some sort of youth.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like if you get someone like RJ, you trade say like Moody and Heald and something else, and keep Pajemski and RJ, then you at least have something to build off of after Curry retires. Not that it's much, but
They're gonna keep Pajemski and Kuminga. They love those guys. So your main you're not gonna get a huge trade piece. You can see I don't know what free agency's gonna look like. I'll look later this year to see who's available. But the Warriors don't have much money to begin with anyway.
well, the thing
So
is, I think the big ones are.
your biggest move would be getting off Draymond
Well, I
while
think
he still has some value, because he's still a great defender, but he's losing it.
well,
slow
hey, Draymond for Dalton Connect. I mean, Connect doesn't want to be in LA, and Draymond would be happy to go to LA.
I would look for more than Dalton.
He's a great.
I think
three-point
Draymond
shooter.
could get more than a Dalton Connect.
But I think Connect's a great 3-point shooter, and he's a solid piece that could be used
He's
for
he's
shooting.
shown flashes, but I'd look for a bet. If we're winning now, we're getting rid of Draymond. We're winning now. I'll go for a bet. Someone I know will.
Hey, Middleton and Smart are both on the whatever the
Yeah, if he
Wizards.
can stay healthy, I wouldn't hate Middleton. And there's a 6-man or a spot starter.
I'd go get both of them. It doesn't hurt to have a defensive player off the bench and Smart.
I mean, Gary Payton. It's pretty much Gary Payton. Like you don't need both of those guys at that point. So if Gary Payton left, he might. I wouldn't hate that. Yeah.
Well, you heard the rumors, right? Jordan Poole, Miami reunion with Wiggins.
Should have got rid of Draymond. Should have straight up should have got rid of Draymond.
The Wizards said they're building the Unk Squad version 2.
You start Curry, Poole, somebody, Butler, and then Looney or Post. That team's still not winning a finals, but they're more fun to watch and they're a little better. So
I wouldn't mind seeing Poole go to Miami for like I don't know, Rozier and Hayward or
I want
not
to see
Hayward,
Poole on a playoff team.
Highsmith.
I
But
want
I
to see him in
think,
the playoffs.
dare I say, but I think Poole makes that team dang near playing playoff ready. When
If
with
Bam wakes up again,
with a
next year,
lineup, hear me out, with a lineup of Poole, Hero, Wiggins, Bam, and then just hopefully they get a center.
Where?
No, they have Keller Ware. That's not a bad.
It's a good team. That's a
25.
playoff team. That should be a playoff team if Bam gets back to his form.
I will say
Hero's an all-star now. So.
his last week has been his last 10 games have been pretty solid. He's been back into like a double merchant.
It's been a bad year too. His co-star threw a fit,
Yeah,
crying. His owner was fighting.
I think
Years
he's
to watch for Miami. So let's go next year for Miami. Let's see what they can do.
I think he's starting to get better playing off Kelly Ware, and I think with Wiggins in the defensive rotation, I think he doesn't have to be the main defender anymore. He has help now on defense, so I think with Wiggins has helped him. He's boosted.
Butler's
a lot.
not a bad defender, but he's not. Wiggins is a decent improvement on defense-wise.
I genuinely think that Wiggins made ever since Wiggins got to that team, the last 3 or 4 games they played, maybe it was only 2 or 3. I think it has lessened the load of Bam.
Yeah.
On defense, because Ware can only do so much as a rookie.
And
And
Wiggins can play
Hero's
on
just
big
not a
guys.
good. Hero's just not a good defender.
Wiggins
so.
can defend on big wings. He can defend on Tatum types. So that helps Bam a lot. Well, Fox to the Spurs, Levine to the Kings.
I will say, Fox to
Kings
Spurs
stink.
has been one of
I
the
could care less.
quietest things I've They've been almost. Yeah, I feel like they played 5 or 6 games together, and it has been nothing crazy.
It's been pretty quiet.
No
D-Fox,
highlights,
nothing.
nothing.
He's coming in. D-Fox is coming a little quiet, but I mean, yeah,
See, I think the problem with
that's a good move. I think you're going to see it next year with one more piece. Spurs got to get one more guy.
I think the problem with
Now we're talking.
with the Spurs right now is they play small ball with a giant. They play 3 guards and then Harrison Barnes and then Wemby, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So it's you're
You need a center.
playing. You're playing right now. They're playing Chris Paul, Fox, and then they rotate through Vassell, Castle, and what's the other guy's name?
Yeah.
And then they have
They have a lot of
Joe Johnson
guard
bench.
talent. Vassell and Castle, I'm high on.
Keon Johnson. All of
Keon
them.
Johnson's good.
Julian
I mean,
Champagne has
Castle,
been a good.
Castle looks like a potential all-star. I'm really liking his game.
Julian Champagne
You
has
got
been pretty
Castle,
solid off the
Fox,
bench.
Wemby. Chris Paul's got to go. He looks like he's about to collapse.
I think you keep him on the bench.
Keep him on the bench, but get him 10 minutes a game. It's looking rough. And I think they need a center. Wemby's not a center. Too skinny. I know he's tall, but he's not strong like a center. It's like Chet. Chet's a power forward. Wemby's a power forward. He's a stretch player. He can shoot the 3. He wants to run around. So get a center. I don't know who centers are up, but get someone like a Zubac type. It's a big guy down in the bottom. Just get rebounds for you.
Valanciunas went to the Kings.
I think so, yeah. But we'll see in free agency this
Well,
year. They need to get a
Vucevic
center.
is still available. I don't know why nobody has made a play for the stretch big that can shoot the 3 ball at 38%. But
Yeah, I'm surprised no one got him.
I don't know
I think the
how
Warriors
he
will get a
has.
shot.
I don't know how he has no trade value, or the Bulls are just.
Now, I also think the Spurs wouldn't be a great fit for him because they need a big guy,
Is the
defensive anchor. But
is the Bulls must be holding him at a high value. They must be off requesting or demanding too much.
The
for
rumor
him.
is that the Bulls wanted Kuminga or Pajemski or maybe both. The
I
Warriors said no.
I'm gonna be honest. I can completely stand shipping. I'm not high on Bajewski. I would have
Pajemski wasn't
shipped him.
shipped for fucking what was the
Lauri
issue?
Markkinen.
Yeah, the Markkinen
That
ship.
was
Now
the
Lauri
bad one.
Markkinen is taking a step back,
But I think he would have
but
taken
still,
a step forward.
I think
on
he
the
would look
Warriors.
better on the Warriors than he would the Jazz right now, considering you're playing with Curry, so you're gonna get more spacing.
I mean,
But yeah, no, I think the Kings are average. No defense at all.
They didn't get better or worse. They're the
No,
same
they're
team.
just the same.
This is what
They'll
I talk
blow it
about.
up,
With,
blow it up again, and Sabonis will go somewhere, and DeRozan will retire, and we'll
this
see.
is what
but
I was talking about with my arrows. Or
Malik
not
Monk,
my arrow, my
shout out
other
Malik
friend.
Monk, get him on a good team.
You watched the Bulls play Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan for like 4 or 5 years, and thought to yourself, "Let's run that back." And the Kings want to see that happen again.
Let's run
Like-
that back. Also, get a talented offensive but terrible defensive big man from Europe.
Yeah,
It's
no,
the Bulls.
Monk
the team's
is,
just the Bulls again.
Monk has got
You-
to like
Get Monk on a good team.
Free
Man.
him.
He's a damn good player.
Keon Ellis. He's probably going to free agency. He deserves a good contract somewhere else. You know
He's
what?
a solid, yeah.
Get Monk, Keon Ellis to the Pelicans. Go build a super defensive team. I want to see I want to see like the Pelicans just be like a elite defensive
I
team.
want to see
Get rid of
2014
Zion.
2014 Grizzlies, like 90 points a game, averaging 85.
I'm just saying a lineup of Murphy, of DJM, Murphy, Herb, Keon Ellis, and Monk would just be not that five specific, but that like rotation of players would be hilarious to watch, because Murphy is taking this crazy all-star offensive leap. Herb is still one of the best defenders in the league when healthy. DJM is still a great playmaker, and he still can score at a high clip and defend at a high clip. Like, if you throw in Keon Ellis, he's probably one of the best bench defenders right now, and he'd be a great six man for that team. And then Malik Monk is just a fun scorer.
There's talent on that team, but there's no defense, and
I think the problem is
it don't fit well.
I think Zion gone in the summer. I think they
Give Malik Monk. Give Malik Monk on the Warriors at the 2. I'd love that.
do you
I'd
want
love
to
that.
before we end this segment? Do you want to?
Well, real quick, I just want to talk about
Oh.
the Ingram to Raptors too.
That one was I don't mind that.
Keep an eye on the Raptors next year.
Again,
Sneaky team.
What
Sneaky
did I say? I already like the team. I'm already high on the Raptors. I think they're, and you know what's hilarious? They could still get flagged, and then they have one of the best. They
Yeah,
have one of the
Ingram-
best forward rotation of all time. Not
Ingram
of all
might be
time,
shut
but-
down. Might be shut down at this point because they're tanking. So we'll
But
see.
I'm just saying, like, if they somehow get flagged, if he doesn't go to the Wizards, and they somehow get him, you have a
quickly
wing rotation.
Quickly Barnes, Barrett, Flag, Ingram, all 3 of those. You can have some guy flag off the bench probably as a rookie.
Dude, honestly,
Ingram starting. You got Pirtle, who's still a solid center. He's just good. That's a good team. That's a playoff team. I think that's a playoff.
and then you
Healthy.
still
But they
have
a healthy
like,
game.
what's his name? That's been. The Raptors have a 6-man who's been
Grady
playing
Dick.
there. No, not Grady. The
He's good though.
is it Brochure? Boucher?
Boucher, Bobby Boucher.
He's been
Chris
shooting
Boucher.
like
He's a
really
good
good
stretch
this
big.
season.
It's a good team. It's a good team with Ingram, good draft pick, health.
Hey.
That's a top 6 seed next year. That's my
RJ's
prediction.
been back. RJ first game back scores 27. My RJ stocks are still high.
My prediction: Raptors not even playing playoff. They're top 6 next year.
Jamal Sheed has been a solid bench piece. Nothing crazy.
Just got to stay healthy. That's all I ask.
They've got
Scotty,
a
quickly.
fun team.
I still
man.
believe in Quickly as a good guard. I think he's good. I think he's underrated. Stay healthy. So
No, that's a fun team. Oh, there we go. Ochai Agabaji.
yeah, he's good too.
He's the solid piece I'm thinking of. Well, then again, I'm looking at their bench right now. They've got like 3 guys on the bench that are shooting like 40% from the 3.
Yeah, they have talent on the bench. And it would look better once they get a better starting lineup because
And again, they are forcing losses. Like they're trying to tank. I think they're a playoff team or a play-in team, arguably a playoff team now, but they're clearly forcing losses.
Fully healthy with a good draft pick, that's a top 16. Just gotta stay healthy.
And hey,
It's all health for me. They're like the Pelicans of 3 years ago. Stay healthy, we got some.
back to the before we end the basketball segment.
Talk.
We said at the beginning our predictions when we were trolling on TikTok. What did we say about the Pacers? We said, oh, they'd be second, third, fourth seed.
Second, we were high on them.
We did say second seed, but they are fourth seed right now. They're a couple games back. There's like 5 games back on the Knicks. They're probably not gonna catch the Knicks, but they're fourth seed. Bucks are fifth seed, and they're like only a game ahead of the Pistons, and the Bucks are out of. This is another thing.
I'm happy with the Pistons.
We were pretty solid. We were pretty.
They're suffering, but
Hey, the only thing we were wrong about is the Pistons because we were trolling. We were acting like they're the worst in the league.
I still thought they'd be like.
Well,
12.
I was like, I thought they were cooked.
I wasn't as high on them.
What did we say? We both said Bucks would be 6th or 7th seed. They're 5th seed and about to be 6th seed. That's all I'm gonna say. And they've been 7th seed pretty much the whole season, 6th, 7th seed. So that's all I'm saying. They pretty much trended exactly how I thought they would.
I'm rooting for the Pistons, man. I wish Ivy was healthy because they could cause some hell.
Well, dude, Beasley's been Beasley, right? Beasley and Tim Hardaway. No, they have Hardaway. Who do they have? They
got both.
And they've both been really solid.
Beasley's been like, Beasley's been like 6th man of the year.
And Hardaway's really been.
Hardaway's been great. Cade's been playing like arguably top 10 player, guaranteed top 15 player. Duran's a solid piece. Ivy was doing good till he got hurt.
Asar Thompson's finally healthy, and he's.
Asar Thompson's officially underrated. He's almost as good as his brother. I think he's kind of set aside.
All I'm saying is you put their stats next to each other, you put eye tests next to each other, you watch game clips. They are the exact same. I wouldn't put Amon over him. They are the exact same player. They average the exact same numbers.
One plays in Detroit, one plays in Houston.
It's so weird. I saw a thread today. Their numbers are identical. Identical. Every single statistical category, every single category in their stat line is identical. You watch game clips, identical. They move the same. The only thing that's different is their jump shot.
They are pure twins.
They are literally
drafting either one. You couldn't go wrong.
I literally think that it's just that Asar is on the Pistons, and
Asar's in Detroit. Amon's on Houston.
They're
both
been
a playoff team for 10 years.
They are both future All-Stars easily.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if next year they're fringe All-Stars. Because Amon was pretty much already arguably a fringe All-Star.
Yeah, they'll be in the talks. I think they'll be like snubs. I don't know if they'll make the jump fully,
but
they'll
make it. But
they'll be like RJ Barrett is now. Like, oh, you could have made it.
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, I mean that's. Other than that, the NBA's looking pretty.
No,
locked in. The good teams are good.
Oh, all NBA awards. Luka's officially out. Well, Luka's been out.
Yep.
AD's officially out now.
True.
Giannis only has like 3 games left, and he's out through the All-Star break. So he's just missed his 11th or 12th game, and he did not confirmed if he's going to be back by All-Star break. He's just out during All-Star break and through All-Star break.
How many games he's played so far this year?
He's missed 12 games, if I'm not mistaken. Kyrie only has 3 or 4 games. I think Jaylen Brown's fringing on like 5 right now. Curry's looking pretty rough.
There's gonna be some guys sneaking in. Curry will get it, I think. He hasn't been hurt this year. He still could. You never know.
I thought he's missed a decent bit of games. Am I mistaken?
His biggest thing he missed was like 3 or 4.
All I know is that KD's probably out.
He hasn't played. He's missed them, but he'll probably end up playing like 68 games. I think he'll make it by a little bit.
Embiid definitely out, obviously. Luke is out, and those are both first-team players right there that are officially out.
Yeah.
And then you have AD, who's now officially out, and he was probably second or third team. He's officially out.
Maybe first. He was killing it.
He's officially out. Kyrie has like 3 or 4 games until he's out. Giannis has 3 or 4 games until he's out, and those are both again first team. Well,
KD.
Yeah, KD has 3 or 4 games. There's 3 or 4 players right now that are in those talks that are probably not gonna make it.
Yeah.
And
Now you're gonna see guys like Triple J get second team.
yeah,
You're gonna
that's what
see
I'm saying.
guys like Cade. Cade's gonna get a second team. Stuff like that.
Like it's gonna be this. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a gross. Because then
Yeah.
again, Herb is missed.
Stability.
Herb and Suggs have missed, so now you're gonna see they're gone from All NBA. Chet's gone from
Wagner,
All NBA.
Bankero would have been in there.
So that all defensive team's gonna look disgusting too because no Chet, no Suggs, no Herb. Like I don't know if Drew's making it because Drew's been out for probably 15 games by now. Porzingis has been out for more. You're gonna see
There's
like
gonna be some weird ones, but the best availability, or the best ability is availability. They say.
Jaylen Brown's like 4 or 5, and he's teetering on third team, but he's probably not gonna make it anyways because he's been pretty rough for wear. He's been little bit of a down year in scoring.
Hey, if there's any year to do it
like,
now, because all the injuries, he could get a third team sneak in.
I think the problem is that people only care about scoring, and they've ignored that he has gone up in like every other statistical category, and they only look at his points drop, 2 or 3. So they're like,
yeah, you consider the point and efficiency drop with the everything else increase, and you kind of flat.
Like his rebounds are
a third team level player.
His rebounds have been about the same. His rebounds have technically gone up. His assists are up almost 2, and his turnover ratio isn't big. Like his turnovers are the same as last year, and his assists have gone up almost 2.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah, you take and give. Like if he gets a shot back, he's better. Right now, he's about the same. I'd say level impact. I'd say he's a 13 level player.
Booker's looking
15.
Booker should be 13. Booker should also make.
But he's missed a couple games. Missed a couple games. So.
I think he's on the same line as Jaylen Brown, where they both missed like a decent bit of game. But I think
I would look at this like with a week to go, I would come back because there's still gonna be some injuries. We'll see.
Well, I don't think Jaylen Brown now will miss a game through the All-Star break till playoffs. I think he'll.
I never know when you tweak a knee or something. You're out for 2 weeks.
I think he's a competitive guy, and after getting snubbed last year from.
No, he'll play.
Yeah,
he'll play back to backs. I'm just saying, if
he'll turn up.
You get hurt, you just won't play.
I think I think the Celtics
be ready for the playoff run. So
the Celtics very desperately needed this All-Star break. Drew's looking worse for wear. Derek White has been streaky. Jaylen Brown has been honestly. People have been hating, but Jaylen Brown has been phenomenal in February, and he's also been really good in the end of January. His only streaky months were really December and the beginning of January.
Yeah, the Celtics look better than they did a month ago, that's for sure.
Jaylen Brown's back up to like really efficient scoring, and his efficiency has gone up like 3 or 4 in just this past month. So I'm not too worried about him anymore. His defense is my biggest concern. Is like he needs to be more locked in on defense. Tatum's looking like a top 2 player again, top 3 player. Tatum's been on a heater the last like 15 games.
Yeah, he had a bad January, but he's waking up.
He's back to averaging. He's gonna bump up his averages, but the last like 10 games he's averaging like 30. So
Celtics are fine. They're gonna hit a new level.
Porzingis,
whoever they get are gonna beat in 4 games or 5, and everybody's like, whoa.
I don't want to jinx it, but Porzingis is finally looking healthy. Like he's finally looking 100%. He's looking like 80% right now, 88, 90% right now, and then he has All-Star break. So
yeah, a lot can happen in 2 months, my friend.
Yeah, I know.
Drew Holiday's gonna do that. He's doing that retreat, that sex retreat. He's been tweeting about.
Well,
crazy.
Any other basketball talks you want to mention in this NBA segment?
I think we hit everything. Final note. Moses Moody.
Well, we never talked about the Hornets Lakers trade, the Mark Williams connection trade. If you want to talk about it for like a minute or two, just to get.
I think what happened was the Hornets knew Mark was fucked up.
Yeah.
Tried to sell him a lemon. Said, hey, he's all right, just a little back problem. Wait, his knee's bad, his foot's bad, his neck's bad. This dude, Mark Williams is really talented, but he won't be playing basketball in 5 years, unfortunately.
What's weird?
Like, he's beat up already.
What's weird is everything on his injury reports and physicals say that it's his knees, but all the reports have been that the biggest worries for his whole career so far has been his back, but all the physicals are talking about his knees. So
I think they're probably seeing like an arthritis or something like Like he'll not like the back is like a tweak, can be fixed. The knees looks like it's gonna be like a matter of time, like Yao Ming, his knees.
Fair.
That's my theory. I haven't seen anything like news on it, but Mark's like if he was fully healthy, he'd be top 5 center.
Yeah,
He'd
he's
play all year.
he's he's
He'd
just
be an
like
all-star.
he's like the Rob. He's like the new Rob Will. Like is like.
And if he was healthy and put on the Lakers, I wouldn't be shocked if they went to the finals. I'll be straight up with you. LeBron, Luka, Reeves, Williams. I don't care who the bench is.
Well, that's how I
That team can
feel.
make
That's
it
how I
fun.
feel about Rob Will. That's how like if Robert Williams was healthy and played on the Lakers, if they picked it Rob Will and he was healthy, I think he is one of the. Obviously, he's statistically when he plays
He's one of the best defensive
defensive
players, big men in the league.
But his bag is very underrated. He's got a huge vert so in length, so he's a scary lob there. But people ignore the fact that he actually like can play the pick and pop. He doesn't shoot, but he's really good in the faking off the handoff and dribbling in. Like he's got a little bit of a Draymond bag in a way where he'll fake the handoff and then hit a little cross hezzy to the basket.
Yeah, that's a shame because that's another all-star talent, healthy. But I think Mark Williams will be a what if. Unfortunately, 5 years now, I'll be like, damn, he was crazy.
But yeah,
For like
we
a
can
year.
we can end it there on the basketball talks, and we're gonna something.